Fiz. And now your host, mathematics writer and the GizFiz, Dick DeBartolo.
Okay, round 50 of Game of Thrones. The category is people in podcasting. So, Alex, did we get anybody to beat Chat Room Celebrity of the Week?
We have a whole trio.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, how are we gonna? How should we arrange that then? How many people are there actually?
There are three.
Three. Oh my God! Look at this. All right. Let's go with, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Chat Room Celebrity of the Week. So, gentlemen, have you ever seen Giz Fiz?
Mm-hmm. I'm Beef Team.
Oh, my gosh. Well, why'd you bring two losers with you?
Careful, the one's my boss.
He needed a ride.
Oh, okay. So, Beef Team's boss, why did you bring that loser with you? Okay, so basically, guys, just tell us your names. First names.
I'm Phil Reed, a.k.a. Beef Team.
Okay,
from
Phil.
Purdue University, Animal Sciences.
Wow. And your boss? Is that your boss next to you?
No, I'm Dr. Ron Lemonager. I'm the beef guy at Purdue University. I've got a research, teaching, and extension appointment. And we're working on finding solutions for the beef industry.
Oh, my, okay. And are you paid by the beef industry?
No.
No.
We're
okay.
paid by the taxpayers of the state, and we do have some federal funding that comes in to the university for research, teaching, and extension. So.
Okay. Do you get the best cuts of meat? That's all I want to know.
Well, you know, it's one of those deals where we work with producers, consumers, and how to select that right piece of meat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you have a website actually where this sort of information for a consumer can go?
Know Your Beef.
Knowyourbeef.org.
.com. Okay.
Yes.
Knowyourbeef.org. And the gentleman in the middle. Oh, there we are. Look. Knowyourbeef.org. Okay. Excellent. The Indiana Beef Council. Brisket. Filet mignon. These should have been categories on Game of Geek. Flat iron steak, ribeye steak. So ribeye steak seems to have more fat than anything else on this list. Is that correct?
It has more than especially the tenderloin or the filet that some people would refer to it as. It would be a little bit fatter, but it probably also has a little bit more flavor.
The longissimus muscle in the 6 through 12 ribs. From this cut, we can make rib roasts and steaks.
It's kind of learn to yearn or yearn to learn.
Yeah, it is.
Typically removed, and the long portion of the ribs are cut away.
In color, no less.
That makes steaks and roasts.
Yeah, it's not grainy enough. It's too good for us.
Into the large end or small
Well, that's a little bit what Leo was talking about earlier in a previous show about the extra fat that comes in, the Japanese Kobe beef.
A boneless ribeye roast or steak is
and that's what gives it the flavor.
Of the rib and has the rib bones.
All right. And the gentleman in the middle is?
So I'm Scott Ratcliffe. I'm on the faculty at Purdue as well. I actually work with pigs, so I just took a wrong turn and ended up here.
I see. Okay.
Actually, Scott is really a key component of our distance education programs. And so between Phil and Scott, they are kind of our producers. We do several programs like the Beef Roundtable that we do on a monthly basis where we have two hosts. I happen to be one of the hosts. Burt Rutherford from Beef Magazine is the second. And then we have two guests that we bring in on a specific topic. And these guys make me look good.
Well, and who attends these meetings?
Well, these are done on, Phil, why don't you talk about it?
Well, basically, I picture it as the meat the press of the beef industry. We shoot it, and then we re-edit it a little bit to make it fit time constraints. And folks that are interested in other cattle ranchers, because it has a strong bias toward management, and also, besides management, political issues that beef ranchers have to deal with. So we have basically other ranchers, other beef producers.
Okay, and is this put out as a podcast, or is it on the website also?
Yeah, this one is actually on beefroundtable.com.
Okay, and is it called Meet the Press, MEAT?
No. That was already taken.
Oh, okay.
So we called it just beefroundtable.com, and
okay.
All the videos are on there. We call them programs.
Okay. And what are you guys doing in Petaluma?
Scott?
Really just came to see Twit and take a look at the studio here. We've got a new building we're getting ready to build, and we're putting in a studio where we have a studio now, but it is literally a converted broom closet. So we do some live streaming out of there. We also do some recorded video. So we're trying to figure out what mistakes not to make when we sort of upgrade.
Well, I think you're in a building full of mistakes, so this is a great learning experience. So how far away are you guys, do you guys live that you made this trip?
Well, Phil and I made the trip to the National Cattlemen's Beef Association meeting in San Diego from Indiana. Okay, and then that meeting concluded last night, and so we flew up from San Diego to San Francisco, and then drove up here this morning just to be able to see the programs kind of behind the scenes, the technology that lays behind all of the TWIT programs, and be able to visit with, the experts that put this thing together.
Great. How long is that flight? It's only like an hour, right, between San Diego and San Francisco?
If it leaves on time.
If it leaves on, do you have problems today?
Last night we were delayed. Originally, it was supposed to be delayed about 2.5 hours, but we got out on, I think, a little more than an hour late. So we got in about midnight last night.
Oh, okay. And where are you guys staying?
We're staying in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll drive back there, and then we fly out. We've got about a 6:30 flight out tomorrow morning.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Well, it's only 5:30 out there now, right? So
right.
It's early. And Beef Team, I always ask people. I forgot, how did you hook up with Twit and learn about Leo?
First time I saw Leo, he was doing well. I knew him from the Dev Knoll days. And
oh my gosh, that's like the first thing he did, right?
MSNBC. Well, he has an Emmy for it, He'll gladly show it to. Oh, he'll gladly show it to you. But that, and I do remember, I didn't know him as Leo then, but really at one point he was doing the screensavers when it first started, and they would stream it at times during the day. Now, we couldn't get it on our TV, so I had a dial-up then. So I'd watch him about 5 minutes at a time until I had to get off the phone.
Oh, my gosh.
So that would be 1999.
And the rest of us basically got sick of hearing Phil talk about this guy, so we decided we should look him up.
And have you watched any of his shows with any regularity? I think he's out of the building, so you don't have to worry.
Increasingly so, yes.
Increasingly so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's
you kind of get hooked.
Yes, it's like an incredible operation, and it was kind of fun. The show that I was doing called GizFiz is going on year 10 in 2 weeks. And when I started, Leo he had another place called The Cottage, but he only had a part of it, and he had a room upstairs in the cottage. And I think for the first 2 years, I only spoke to Leo over the phone. And then they put in cameras and then the brick house. So it really is an amazing transition in 10 years. Okay, so can you see the chat room from where you are?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So chat room, we have 3 people. The beef team, including head beef team. So if you have any questions for them, shoot away.
Somebody asked about why some meat has no grade, is not either select, choice, or prime, and Ron could probably deal with that really well.
Well, one of the things that Scott and I work on, Scott more on the swine side and me more on the beef side, but he mentioned that we work with management, and we're also both PhD nutritionists. So a lot of the marbling comes from, number one, the genetics behind the animal, but then secondarily, how we manage and feed those animals also determines how much marbling is there, and ultimately, it's about taste, tenderness, and juiciness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curtis B., I grew up in the cattle business.
I did too.
How about you?
Yeah, I grew up on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. More experience with crop farming, and ended up going to Virginia Tech to school and getting involved in some undergraduate research in the swine area, and work more with pigs, but on the extension side, work a little bit across species.
It's amazing. It's like a side of an industry that you would never even think about, that somebody does all this rating of the meats and how farmers should feed the cattle. And, are there just a few farmers with huge herds, or is it a lot of small individual farmers with a couple hundred cattle, or is it like General Motors where there's 2 companies that does all the beef industry?
The average cow herd size in this country is 27.
It's 27 period?
27 head, yeah.
27 head.
Oh my God.
Now, so what I think is important in that piece is that there's a lot of producers, and this is not really corporate farming, but that's sometimes, people like to categorize animal agriculture as corporate farming or factory farming. And the reality is that, a lot of the cattle are raised by small farms and about 80% of our producers have less than 100 head of cattle. And then that means then 20% has something over that. But it's significant that small producers and family farms are really where a lot of the cattle are raised.
And someone's asking, how many cattle are allotted for dairy versus meat? Is there such a number exist?
Well, the dairy industry, if I remember the numbers right, is about 9 million cows, and the beef industry is about roughly 30 million cows.
Oh, okay.
In this country. So the dairy industry represents a piece, okay? So we'd be roughly 40 million when you put the 2 together. So about a fourth, okay, would be in the dairy world, and then about 3/4 would be in the beef world. Ultimately, the dairy cow at the end of her productive life would become part of the beef industry. Okay. The male offspring from the dairy industry also enters into the beef chain. And typically they're fed and managed in a manner similar to our beef steers and heifers that ultimately go into the human food chain. So that's kind of how that kind of fits together.
Okay. All right. So we're going to end this with let's give the website again so people can know where to go to get information about this. And then Beef Team, email me, and I'll send each of you guys an autographed Mad and one of those 38-year-old Alfred E. Newman pictures that haven't been made by Mad in all those years. So what the website again is?
www.knowyourbeef.org.
Knowyourbeef.org. So Philip and Scott, and can I call you just Doc? Is that okay?
That'd be fine.
Okay. Doc, thank you for being chat room celebrities of the week.
You're welcome.
And just keep watching the chat room because they'll probably talk to you a bit more.
It's been a pleasure to be a part of the program. Thank you.
Oh, great. Great. Thank you so much. All right. So we're still going to end at 9:00 tonight. I want to go get something to eat, and I'm sure Alex does too. So we're going to do true and false from George Davis, and then we'll play a little match game for about 20 minutes or so. Okay, true or false, George Davis? Oh, George Davis says the topic this week is weird. True or false? Okay. Number one, in 2007, a man named Corey Taylor tried to fake his own death to get. This is so funny. I don't read this ahead of time. In 2007, a man named Corey Taylor tried to fake his own death so he could get out of his cell phone contract. True or false? Boy, I think that sounds true. In 2007, a man named Corey Taylor tried to fake his own death so he could get out of a cell phone contract. True. Boy, it's more true than false. He ate himself. False. It's plausible, so it's true. Slow-mo says, well, who hasn't thought of this? But it was an unlimited contract, says Jammer B. Alex, what's your take? Corey Taylor tried to fake his own death to get out of a cell phone contract.
True. Why not?
True. And Kara?
Kara?
Oh, well, I was explaining match game to our guests.
That's no excuse. True or false?
False.
False. And Alex, you said
I said
true, right?
True, yes.
Yeah, okay. The answer is true. And he couldn't pull it off, and he ended up paying the fee. True or false, too. Frank Hayes is... These are very weird, George. I should have read them ahead of time because they're so funny. Frank Hayes is the first known jockey who ever won a race after he was dead. Frank Hayes is the first known jockey who has ever won a race after he was dead. Boy, it's right down the middle in the chat room between true and false. Red Penguin says false. It was his horse that was dead. Travis MC, I agree with you. I would think that it's true and that he died in the saddle and they didn't know he was dead until after they declared him a winner. All right, guys. So Alex, Frank Hayes, first known jockey to ever win a race after he was dead. True or false?
True.
True. Okay. Kara?
True.
And should we also ask our brain trust panel here?
Oh, yes. Ask the brain trust.
Starting on the left. True or
Philip.
false?
True.
It's too crazy.
Scott.
It's got to be true.
I agree
True.
with Scott. I think it's true.
Everybody says true. Okay. And looking at George Davis's sheet here, the answer is true. He had a heart attack halfway into the race, but he did not fall off his horse, and he won, and the payoff was 20-1. So if you ever go to the track, you don't look at how good the horse is, but how frail the jockey is. Okay. Question 3 of 5. The first American film to show a... Oh, this is great, Alex. Alex, you should have our PM sound effect ready. The first American film to show a toilet being flushed on the screen was Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds in 1964, and it sounded something like this. And we are probably the first podcast to ever use a flushing toilet as part of our theme. Okay, chat room, I'm looking up here. False, true. False, it was Citizen Flush. It wasn't a toilet. No, false, it was All in the Family. False, it was Psycho. I don't remember any toilets in The Birds. I don't either. All right, let's see. So, Alex, first American film to show a toilet being flushed on screen was Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Say false.
Oh, any reason?
No.
I agree,
Okay.
false. Because I've seen the movie a lot of times, and I don't remember a toilet scene.
I do not. Red Penguin says birds don't use toilets. Oh, you know what?
And
Chat room.
And should we ask the panel here?
Oh, yes, ask the panel. Sorry, let's go to the first time that we've had a complete panel. Philip.
I think it's true. It was the toilet in a gas station.
Oh.
When the guy had just walked out of the gas station when the birds hit the fella and the gas station started to burn.
Blew up. Okay, that's interesting. Scott?
His memory of that movie is better than mine. I don't remember a toilet, so I'm going to go with false. I think it was Psycho. Of course, I don't remember which movie came out first either.
Okay. And Doc?
I think it's going to be false, but I don't remember The Bird that well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is false. But the chat room, and I think Phil too, someone else said it. It was Psycho that had the first flushing toilet that sounded like this.
Hold on.
And the beef team guys, I think you'll want to interview Alex about timing when you build your new studio. He might be a good person, a good go-to person. Okay. 4 of 5. The top of the the top of the Eiffel Tower leans away from the sun about 5.5 inches due to the expansion of the heat of the sun. Okay, the top of the Eiffel Tower leans away from the sun 5.5 inches because of the heat from the sun. True or false? Get true. Boy, it's all leaning very much toward true. Bill says, nah, it's more like a foot. False, it's more. It's French engineering. False, it's jealous of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's just... Spike says, it's leaning because it's just trying to get away from France. It's very funny. Beatmaster says, I think it's correct, but more than 5 inches. Strength says it's leaning the diameter of a pizza. And Lawn Dog says it's the base that makes it lean, not the sun. It's trying to get out of France. There's another answer along the same line. Okay, Alex, the Eiffel Tower leans away from the sun 5.5 inches due to the heat from the sun.
False.
False. Okay, Kara?
I'm going to say false because there's too many specifics in that fact.
There's too many
Specifics. There's always something that's like, oh no, it's not 5 inches. It's like whoever said a foot.
Just say false.
False. I want to explain why. Let me explain.
Phil?
I think it's more like 10 inches, so I'd say false.
False. Okay, Scott?
Going with false.
I'm
False,
going with
okay.
false. I think it depends on how much sun you got in particular times. So it's not just. I don't think it's a set.
Way too much thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's in the right direction, but I think it's.
Oh, okay. Okay. Top of the Eiffel Tower leans away from the sun about 5.5 inches due to expansion of heat from the sun. The answer is false, and one of you guys is right because it's usually more. It is more often 7 inches, except it's less in the winter. Our final question from George Davis. U.S. Park Ranger Roy Sullivan holds the record for being hit the most by lightning. Between the years 1942 and 1977, he was struck by lightning 5 times. True or false? Let's look at the chat room. A lot of true. I'm sort of thinking toward true because you're a park ranger. You're outside a lot. Red Penguin said it was true because he had the habit of holding a metal stick in the air. Travis says it's true because he had a metal plate in his head. False, he was hit by a flying fish. The odds are way against that, says Creamy Corn Cob. Casey says, no, it was the Tin Man who was struck by lightning that many times. False, it was Ranger Sparky. False, it was Benjamin Franklin. Okay, Alex, this park ranger was hit by lightning 5 times while he was a forest ranger. And you say?
True.
True, okay. And Kara?
False.
False. She learned her lesson.
Why?
She's just saying false.
Because of the same reason as last time. Same.
Oh, the same reason
Too
as last.
specific.
Too Pacific. Okay. Philip.
I think, actually, I've seen this in the Guinness Book of World Records, and I think he was hit more than 5 times, so I'd say false.
Wow. Okay. Scott.
I'll go with true.
Okay. And Doc.
I think I'm going to go with true.
True. Okay. And the answer is somebody spends a lot of time with the Guinness Book of Records. False. He was struck by lightning 7 times. How did you happen to remember that particular fact?
Well, I'll tell you what. No comment. I work very hard at my job.
I don't know. It seems like you're reading in that, keeping a Guinness Book of Records somewhere in that office. Okay. So we will, someone just said, well, are we going to do any logo? We have 15 minutes, so we'll do a logo and then some match games. Okay, logo. Every question is a Mr. question, okay? Ba-bam, a Mr. question. A bath product kids love. Okay, chat room. Mr. Rogers, no. A bath product kids love. Mr. Clean, no. Mr. Magoo. Mr. Toaster, no. All right. We have some good answers. Mr. Coffee? I don't think so. Alex, the brand of bath product kids love?
I cannot.
Mr.
I cannot answer this for technical reasons.
Okay. Kara?
Same.
Okay.
But we could ask
Philip?
the Brain Trust.
Here we are. Philip? You have
Mr. Bubble.
Mr. Bubble. Okay, Scott?
Mr. Bubbles.
Okay. And Doc?
Ducky.
Ducky. Okay. Has to have the word.
Mr.
It's
Ducky.
me, Mr. Bubble, liquid or powder. I help bubble you clean and I help get rid of bathtub ring. And this is Rosie. From Walt Disney Studios' new movie, One Little Indian, Mr. Bubble offers you a plush toy camel. To get yours, send one Mr. Bubble label or box top and $4.99 check or money order to Mr. Bubble, P.O. Box 74502, Los Angeles, California. Offer ends December 31st, 1973.
Oh, damn, I wanted to get that. Somewhere in the warehouse, I think it's Mr. Bubble. It was one of the funniest things. It's a box of Mr. Bubble, and there was a premium. You would collect 20 box tops or something, and you would get a little stuffed, I think it was a stuffed like Bugs Bunny. And on the back of the box, it had a picture, like postage stamp size of this Bugs Bunny. And under that, it said, not shown actual size. And I thought, how dumb is that? Did they expect you to send you a bunny that big for 20 box tops? Normally what it is a giant picture of a bunny. And then when the thing comes, it is something tiny. But that broke me up. Okay, another Mr. Oh, nearsighted cartoon character. Now, I think this is going to be easier. Another Mr. Nearsighted cartoon character. There's Mr. Clean again, Mr. Peabody. Mr. Nearsighted Man. Mr. Gazelle. Alex, you know who the nearsighted cartoon character might be?
Mr. Magoo.
All right. And is that your answer too, Kara?
Yes.
Did you know that, though?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. And the Brain Trust, Phil?
Mr. Trump.
That's pretty good. Scott?
Mr. Magoo.
Yep,
Okay.
Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Gavit. Scott, did you ever do any announcing? Oh, here we go. And who played Mr. Magoo, or whose voice was it?
Jim Backus.
Wow. Okay. Scott, were you an announcer at any time?
No, but it's always a backup career if this whole professor thing doesn't work out.
Okay. Okay. Cherry Spice Cola, Mr. A cherry spice cola, Mr. Sir Wunster said, "Oh, Mr. Magoo ran over a cow. How fitting." Let me just look if you guys are okay. Alex, do you know a soda with a Mr. in the title?
Mr. Pibb.
Boy, you know what? Okay, Kara?
That's the only Mr. Soda I know is Mr. Pibb.
Okay, Mr. Dr. Pepper. Phil?
That's the only one. That's the only one I've ever heard of.
Too. And Scott?
Only
Same.
one I've ever heard of.
And Doc, okay. You know, I don't think we ever had Mr. Pibb in the East. It said, Mr. Pibb, a rival of Dr. Pepper. They call me Mr. Pibb.
It's nice to live in an easy way without any cares from day to day. Slow down the time, slow down the moment. Taste Mr. Pibb, smooth and easy.
Mr. Pibb is not a cola, not a root beer. It's an easy new soft drink from the Coca-Cola Company. It goes down good.
And it's not a drink, and it's not a tea, and it's not a coffee. It's a toxic liquid. Boy, we have so many ads today. It's really great. I think we have one final sponsor, Alex. A preschool toy with movable eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Chat room, movable toy, movable eyes, ears. Oh, Mr. Machine. Oh, okay. Boy, who remembers Pop Shop Pop Beef Team? We'll ask the Brain Trust. Alex, did you know?
He has a great answer. Go on, Alex.
Of course, it's Mr. Bucket, but no, only the kids of these days know that. No, Mr. Potato Head.
Okay. And Phil, you guys?
Well, we tried Mr. Tomato, and that didn't work very well, so we ended up with Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, all three of you, right? Okay. Did you? It went by, but there was that a game? Beef team. Do you ever hear that? Someone said, "Oh, here it is." Creamy Corn Carb says, "Who remembers Pop Shop Pop Beef Team?" Ring a bell at all?
We had a store where I grew up in Stanton, Virginia, that was called the Pop Shop, and they had their own line called the Pop Shop Pop.
Oh, okay. That must have been it. Alex, has the Mr. Potato Head agency sent us their commercial?
Hey, it's Hasbro. Hasbro makes toys. What's new, Hasbro?
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new. See, Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer. And there's a car and shopping trailer for his wife, Mrs. Potato Head.
And so attractive.
And so easy. Like this. Take any fruit or vegetable. Just stick in eyes, then ears, and then the mouth. You can make the funniest looking people in the whole world. Potato Head people look different every time you make them. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with cars and trailers come in $1 and $2 sizes.
What else is new, Hasbro?
A vanity case with toy cosmetics and beautiful accessories and real-looking doctor and nurse kits.
Hasbro makes great toys. It's fun to play with Hasbro.
Wow. So originally, you supplied the potato. Unbelievable. Rev Don GizFiz, whose voice is that? Anybody know whose voice that was? It didn't sound familiar to me. I can't guess her name.
What's new, Hasbro? Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new.
Oh, it does sound
See,
familiar.
Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer. And there's a car and shopping trailer for
Sounds
his
like
wife,
a
Mrs.
Granny in
Potato
Looney
Head.
Tunes.
It's such fun to do. And so easy. Like this. Take any fruit or vegetable. Just stick in eyes, then ears, and then the mouth. You can make the funniest looking people in the
I
whole
think you're
world.
right, Dr. I think, yes. I think it is Jane Foray who did.
Jane Foray had a higher, lighter voice.
Well, she did so many characters, right? On, what was it? Dudley Do-Right. What was that show? Chat room, Dudley Do-Right.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Says the brain.
Yes. Yeah, Bullwinkle. Could be. Oh, Rocky the Squirrel, Rocky. Oh, and right. Bullwinkle the Moose. God, that show was good. And the Wayback Machine, Rocket J Squirrel. All right, we'll do a little match game, and then we will end the show. We may have done these before, but the answers will always be different. Mary said, I want to do a cooking show on Twit. It's going to be called TWIM. This Week in Blank. Mary said, I want to do a cooking show on Twit. I'll call it TWIM. This Week in Blank. I'll write down an answer. This week in mushrooms. Oh, good. This week in milk. This week in mammals. This week in Malamars. This week in mothballs. Mammal meat. Munchies. Okay, Alex. Mary said I want to do a cooking show on Twit. It'll be called Twim. This week in meat. Okay, and meat. Scott, what does that say? Oh, mystery food. Okay. Okay. And Doc?
Put it down flat on the table. There you go.
Oh, mystery. Oh, okay. Mystery food and margarita. All right, my answer was meatloaf. I know you can't see it. We'd have the judges would knowing the match game judges, they would not match meat and meatloaf because thank you. The train conductor said to Dracula, you'll know when we pull into Transylvania Station because it's full of blank. The train conductor said to Dracula, you'll know when we pull into Grand Central to Transylvania Station because it's full of blank. So I get a magic one. Okay, train conductor to Dracula. You'll know because Transylvania Station is full of Alex. Bats. Kara. Bats. Beef team. Bats. Scott, are you bats? Blood banks. Okay. Me, bats. Da-dan. Bats. Chat room had good. Zombies, fangs. Upside down bats. The voice was olive oil. Well, someone had to be the voice. Oh, blood banks. Oh, hey, Doc, you matched a lot of people. Blood banks, blood blanks, blood suckers, dead people, blood donors, blood ATMs. That's good. Oh, that's very funny. Bella Lugosi impersonators. All right, we'll just do two more, and then we'll end this. Harry said to his friend, why did you spend $500 on an iPad? I spent $2 and bought a blank pad. Harry said to his friend, why did you spend $500 on an iPad? I spent $2 and bought a blank pad. Maxi pad. A scrub pad. Sketch pad. Well, I don't think anybody's matched it yet. Notepad, ThinkPad, Z-Pad, cutting board, lily pad, eye patch pad. Finally, a match. Eagle pad. A notepad. Okay, Alex. Harry said, why did you spend $500 on an iPad? I spent $2 and bought a legal pad. Kara. Notepad. Okay, Phil. Eye patch. Notepad. Big Chief pad. Okay, I said yellow pad. I matched just one person said yellow pad. But we would fight the judges because I think legal pads.
Legal pads are yellow pads.
Oh, yellow pads. Right. Thank you. We just cleaned up chat room. All right, one more. And this is it. Harry said that was the weirdest storm ever. Even Eric Duckman gives us a match, yellow and legal. Harvey said, weirdest storm ever. My umbrella didn't blow inside out, but my blank did. Harry said, the weirdest storm ever. My umbrella didn't blow inside out, but my blank did. Oh, that's funny. My pants, my belly button, my toupee. Oh, a lot of toupees. Pants, underwear, short, raincoat. Okay, Alex. Weirdest storm ever. My umbrella didn't blow inside out, but my blank did. My coat, Kara. My shoes. Okay. Let's go over to, we have coat. My mind, toupee. My answer was I matched quite a few people. My hat blew inside out. My head carpet. My modem. Okay. My shoes. Oh, wait. Kara, did you say shoes?
Yes.
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, you matched Logan 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's a match. It's 9:03. I'm going to get stuff to eat. Oh, coat. I'm sorry. Did I not ask you? And shoes. Okay. See, I was psychic. I knew that you had said shoes. Pantaluma. Oh, pantalumas. All right, chat room. So, let's see. GizFiz is normal time this week. Okay, 7:30 East, 4:30 on the West Coast. Oh, Charlie. Dennis, can you make a flying trip down with Charlie Bear, please? Did you mention being on Twert? This Week in Radio Tech. I was on This Week in Radio Tech, and I thought I was a bad fit because it's about audio, and all I could talk about was my little sound machines. Charlie Bear. Oh, we call him Charlie Bear sometimes. My Charlie's sitting right there. Slow-mo. You have a dog named Charlie? Twert was great. Okay. Thank you. We're still waiting for Charlie. And let's see, what else can we talk about? Let me see. What other sound effects did I have? I don't have my favorite sound effects machine here, which is the great sound effects. Oh, no. It's called the Excuse Machine, and it's not available anymore, but the Excuse Machine was good because I hear footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Not Charlie? All right. Oh, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, wide shot, please. Well, Charlie brought down Leo the lion. Charlie always carries me down. Charlie. Oh, you like the dad. Okay, Charlie, right there. You'll know how to hog the kid. And Charlie has Leo. You want to take Leo back? Leo? Want to take him back? Okay. All right. Now it's been an official GizFiz PM. Okay, Beef Team guys, that's the kind of timing I'm talking about right there. All right, so chat room, I'll see you on GizFiz Thursday. I'll be back here doing radio on Saturday, and then we'll do another GizFiz PM. Wow. You know, it's really good when they get within the same 15 minutes of my saying it. Yes, Alex.
Timing will be better next week because I will be out, actually, again.
Again?
One more time.
What is the excuse this time?
I'll be out of town this time.
Yeah,
last time you what? Just sitting outside in the hall?
Yeah,
you didn't feel like coming in?
I forgot my key. They wouldn't let me in.
Okay. All right. So, Kara, you and Jamma B will the brain trust come together. Okay,
Remember
good.
how good our timing was.
Yeah, that was great. It was super. It was super. As a matter of fact, that last sound effect was from them doing it last week, and it just got on air now. Okay, bye, everybody. GizFiz PM has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman, Dick DeBartolo, Dennis Wendell, and Jamma B. Alex Gumpel, Kara Cole, Travis MC, Beef Team Trust, Cool Breeze, Red Penguin Production. Remember, everybody who watches the show gets one free meatloaf. Till next week, Dick DeBartolo. Bye!
See you in 2 weeks, Dick.
Thanks.